Hi, you're currently listening to Take a Seat with me. I'm your host, Giang, and this is the podcast where I myself, a typical 15-year-old bookworm, share my perspectives on some of the greatest American coming-of-age must-reads from some of the most renowned female African-American authors. On today's episode, we'll be talking about one of the most impactful materials and also one of my favorites. I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings by Maya Angelou, published in 1969 as the first in her 7-volume series. First, let's talk about the book's plot, which in Maya Angelou's own words in the book, you should be hoping for the best, prepared for the worst, and unsurprised by anything in between. The book described the psychological and moral growth of the protagonist, Maya, throughout her childhood ever since she was a 3-year-old to when she became an independent, self-dignified 16-year-old mother of her son. The story took place in various places, from Stamps, Arkansas, St. Louis, Oakland, to San Francisco. Being a black girl at such a young age in Southern America, who was, quote-unquote, caught in the crossfire of masculine prejudice, white illogical hate, and black lack of power, said in the book, young Maya constantly had to face displacement and humiliation, not only from early exposure to peer pressure and racial discrimination, but also mostly from being abandoned by her own family at such a young age. In the second half of the book, Maya lived in San Francisco with her dad and his girlfriend. After being hurt by Dolores, the girlfriend, she intentionally chose to displace herself as an act of independence and self-reassurance, and confidently took over her life, whereas up to this point, her life was only controlled by others. This decision had totally changed her perspective, as she soon realized that her full potential can only blossom when she gained enough strength to not only confront the problems she had, but also to love, to sympathize, to own up to her flaws with honesty and dignity. This led to one of the book's ultimate achievements at the end, when she became San Francisco's first black streetcar conductor at the age of 15. Honestly, for me, reading this book, I am somewhat embarrassed at my lack of knowledge and how I was still dependent and relied on my privileges ever since I was born. It truly speaks volume to me, the impactful journey of Maya Angelou. As the fact that over the period of 90 years from the 30s, this controversial topic still holds value and relevance up to this day, with not only the death of many female African Americans, but also with the influence of the Black Lives Matter movement in 2020. Lastly, I especially recommend this book to young girls so that they can understand the consequences of ignorance, the importance of self-belief and sympathy, and the ultimate strength gained by love and support. Okay, honestly, my words can be a bit off, but believe me, she's Maya Angelou, and this specific material gained tears from America's favorite TV host, Oprah Winfrey, for a reason, guys. It's definitely a must-read, and I cannot wait for you to tell me how you feel after reading it. It has been Take a Seat with me. I'm your host, Giang, and thank you for your listening.